You are welcome to yet another episode of HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. Despite the overwhelming desire by his enemies to see him remain in prison for the remaining part of his life, R. Kelly's hope to regain his freedom has been on the rise ever since experienced attorney Jennifer Bonjean took over the case from Steve Greenberg's team. And once the appeal process commenced, the sight of freedom ahead became even clearer than ever before, considering it's now common knowledge the illegal things government had to do to make sure R. Kelly was locked up, ignoring and violating all his basic rights. If the courts had been fair, R. Kelly would be a free man already. All the guilty verdicts we saw the New York federal judge issue have been beaten down to nothing as Bonjean brought plenty of new facts to light. In fact, the government case against R. Kelly has never been weaker. No American citizen should be brought before a criminal court over mere hearsay and suspicions without proper evidence to prove their case beyond reasonable doubt. In fact, no one deserves to be presented with over 40 women in court all alleging he is an abuser, even though most of the witness claims were uncharged misdemeanors only intended to prejudice the defendant. This was not only prejudicial but also against the legal standards of prosecution. As if that was not enough, even the jurors on the panel were not properly screened to ensure they would not opt to prejudice the defendant. With most of them having watched the surviving R. Kelly documentary, and a number of them boldly promising they would not remain impartial in certain circumstances, the entire court process quickly turned kangaroo and R. Kelly was left with no chance to even defend himself. A juror or judge who goes to the courtroom already believing that a defendant is guilty cannot do a good job reading between the lines to come to a rational verdict. And when it comes to the breaking of laws in their attempt to lock up R. Kelly, the government's move to illegally access restricted prison communication records by compromising the Bureau of Prisons staff, and having them leak this information to a YouTube vlogger to be used in compromising a would-be defense witness to opt to lie on R. Kelly, again the gavel of justice comes down pounding against the government. The law does not in any way condone the breaking of self in the name of catching a criminal. The moment it was proved by an FBI investigation that in fact the government had compromised the Bureau of Prisons officers, it was supposed to be game over for the fight against the R&B King because this is so against the law. And if ever there was a proper example of racketeering, this is it. However, with utmost impunity, they continued with prosecution yet charges should have been dropped. And this has been a big threat to the propensity of this our government to deliver justice to the citizenry, considering government often gets away with breaking the supreme laws of this nation and violating people's rights. Not far back in 2010, a Border Patrol agent did take the life of a 15-year-old Mexican Sergio Adrian Hernandez, but without shame, the Supreme Court ruled that the boy's parents could not sue. The heading alone appearing as court rules slain teenagers' parents can't sue looks ugly and inappropriate. The U.S. court technically closed the courthouse door on the grieved parents without care that a life was taken away from them. Imagine the argument was that because the parents are Mexican, they cannot use American courts to demand justice for their Mexican boy. What a shame on us as Americans. According to the government, regulating border security agents is out of questions because allegedly, it has national security implications, and therefore people can continue to lose their lives at the hands of these lawless agents, especially if they happen to be of Mexican origin. Now this is what we call impunity at its highest. Also to remember, most individuals who were responsible for the CIA torture program face no consequence for their gruesome actions. And in fact, one of them that oversaw the criminal behavior and the destruction of evidence now leads the agency. According to Project on Government Oversight on Pogo.com, penalties in American society can be severe for regular individuals accused or convicted of crimes, yet when law enforcement officers, prosecutors, and other government officials engage in illegal behavior or infringe upon people's rights, they frequently evade accountability. In the case against R. Kelly, the government took it to another level, breaking all the laws possible, and by the look of things, they could have gotten away with everything if it hadn't been for Bonjean's intervention. While they have already managed to slip a few fake dollars under the door, they will not be getting away with everything. What they did with R. Kelly is completely unacceptable. If the government had attempted to prosecute R. Kelly on actual specific crimes alleged against him, they were never going to succeed, as the lies would be exposed in broad daylight for everyone to see, and because they knew this, they decided to package these multiple allegations of kidnap, rape, sexual harassment, alleged defilement and more into bigger umbrella accusations inviting the RICO and Mann Act violations, which have over the years been turned into weapons of selective prosecution to discriminate against certain groups of people that look like R. Kelly. Because we now know all this after Bonjean did a good job exposing the injustice, we can be sure R. Kelly is not destined to die in prison like his enemies wished, and that he will soon be a free man back to making the great music we know him for. This government is lately getting renowned for its excesses when it comes to litigation of criminal cases. They are practically hijacking justice and replacing it with crime while fooling the citizenry and calling it all kinds of names such as RICO and Mann Act. While they play all their games though, they ought to remember that we are watching them, and that we will not simply look on while they do this to our people, intentionally blocking the transfer of wealth from successful black people to their descendants, which would of course empower the entire community and threaten white supremacy. According to Joyce Sanders, these judges know well that R. Kelly is innocent of all the BS charges mentioned in his indictment. However, they went on to throw guilty verdicts at him without any concrete evidence to prove the government's allegations. In fact, Aaliyah's precious name shouldn't have been a part of this bogus case. This is a 20-year-old double jeopardy case that wasn't supposed to be brought back. We wonder why Kim Fox has not yet been looked into for making such serious legal errors. This BS case should be over and R. Kelly free by now. I wonder when black people are going to wake up and realize that this is a game being played in favor of the oppressor whose offsprings can freely inherit wealth and multiply it while ours are made to lose everything before it's due. The prisons are full of our innocent children because of the greedy among us who are willing to aid the game against us in exchange for a few dollars. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. Thank you for watching today's video, a production of LFN Media, giving you another perspective of issues at hand. We make it our business to keep you updated with the truth amidst the cloud of lies the media wants you to believe. It is therefore important to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon and allow all notifications so that you don't miss out whenever we publish a new video.